All right, so let's check this one out.
I feel like the misogynists are going to eat me up for saying this, but I feel like one of the most empowering things a woman can do is be a single mother. Aside from being child free and never marrying, and the woman who lives a life of leisure while she's married and still remains child free, I feel like third place definitely goes to single moms, but society loves to bash women with kids so much that y'all don't want to admit it. There is nothing like a one and done mom or a woman with two kids tops who has her own financial income, her own financial freedom, and she's thriving in life still with her autonomy. There's nothing like it. I don't care what y'all say. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I feel like the women who remain child free and never marry, they are definitely top place. And then second place definitely goes to the women who play the game, still get married, live a life of leisure, and remain child free. I mean, that's perfect. But we're not gonna leave the single women out here who are one and done, who go and get their own money. They still have their autonomy and they still get to experience motherhood, because there are some women who genuinely want to just have kids and y'all can't bash them for that. You know what I'm saying? Women who seriously still just want to have a baby, they want to experience motherhood, we can't bash them for that. And I feel like that's why I'm always telling women to just go get a donor. If you genuinely want children and you want to experience motherhood, go get a donor. But I always have to remember that me personally, I do not aspire to co-parent in any capacity, not even in the healthiest marriage. I do not want to co-parent. I don't want to share a kid with a man. That's just me though. But I highly recommend women start to get donors more when they genuinely want to be a parent. And I feel like it's the most empowering thing that women can do. Single mom by choice with a donor, I don't know. I feel like it eats. I feel like the massage.
You know, the audacity to say misogynist when, in my opinion, what you know what? Here,
You get your big fat ass on somewhere then. I don't deal with you big sassy ass bro.
the audacity to talk about the audacity to talk about misogyny, the hate of women. This right here, in my personal opinion, is actually the hate of women right here. This shit right here is the hate of women. It's the hate of women. It is already hard to produce good future productive adults in a good two-parent household. It is already hard enough to produce good productive adults in a two-parent household. To now have the stupidity to take on that burden as a single mother by choice. Now, because this woman is promoting finding a donor. You're stupid. That is literally the hate of women, in my opinion. You are trying to make women suffer. You're trying to make the next generation suffer. I don't know the stat, but most men in the prison system are they come from single mother households. Most men or women, most prisoners, right? Most criminals, most, if not majority of them that are in the prison system comes from single mother households. Now, I'm not saying single mothers automatically create, criminals, but criminals, most likely, majority of them come from single mother homes. It is already so difficult, not easy, to raise good, productive future adults in two-parent households, and yet you have the audacity to promote, go get a donor, go be a single mom. And this is the stupidity, absolute modern day women for you. This is the modern day woman, absolute selfishness. Exactly. Women give their fellow women the worst advice and call it being a girl's girls. I call it sabotage. Londo. Exactly. 100%. That brother, 100%. I've said this before. Women are terrible teachers, particularly when it comes to the dating environment. Particularly when shit like this. Women are terrible coaches, terrible role models, terrible teachers. Women are shitty at it because they're illogical. They're illogical, purely based on stupid emotions. Absolutely idiotic.
Misogynists are gonna eat me up for saying this, but I feel like one of the most empowering things a woman can do is be a single.
Oh, look at that. In 1996, 70% of inmates in state juvenile detention centers serving long sentences were raised by single mothers. And that's 1996. This is the problem. We do not realize how important a good father is for these children. Women like this are so fucking dangerous. So dangerous. So selfish. She thinks this child is a prop. This child is a prop for life, right? It's just a tool, a prop. This child is like a purse to women like this. A purse. There's something to flex. I'm a single mother, right? That's why she's saying single mothers are amazing, because you just want to flex a child. It's not like, oh, you want to be selfless and raise a good, productive adult. No. You want to give your child daddy issues. You want to give your child daddy issues. And you're calling men misogynists? Imagine what type of women you're creating. Daddy issue women. Women with daddy issues.
Mother. Aside from being child free and never marrying, and the woman who lives a life of leisure while she's married and still remains child free, I feel like third place definitely goes to single moms, but society loves to bash women with kids so much that y'all don't want to admit it. There is nothing like a one and done mom or a woman with 2 kids tops who has her own financial income, her own financial freedom, and she's thriving in life still with her autonomy. There's nothing like it. I don't care what y'all say. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I feel like the women who remain child.
Don't care what you say. That is let's check out what Kai. I want to see that. Ooh. We're gonna read some of that statistics in a bit. But yeah, women like this is just selfish. Utterly selfish. Disgustingly selfish. I'm tired. I'm tired of women like this. It really is. It's absolutely disgusting.
Free and never marry, they are definitely top place. And then second place definitely goes to the women who play the game, still get married, live a life of leisure, and remain child free. I mean, that's.
And pretty much everything she's saying is absolutely selfish. You don't care about the child. You don't care about the man. Life of leisure. Promote being a single mom. Getting a donor. Absolutely disgusting.
That's perfect. But we're not going to leave the single women out here who are one and done, who go and get their own money. They still have their autonomy and they still get to experience motherhood, because there are some women who genuinely want to just have kids, and y'all can't bash them for that.
Yes, you can. I think it's disgusting how I said that single mothers are the most one of the most, at least off the top of my head, one of the most terrible thing to happen to the dating market, to the dating scene. Particularly the worst thing to happen to the black community. It's rampant. rampant. It is absolutely disgusting. It really is. And to think that motherhood should be devoid of fatherhood as well. So mothers should be devoid of the father in there. It should be going hand in hand.
You know what I'm saying? Women who seriously still just want to have a baby, they want to experience motherhood, we can't bash them for that. And I feel like that's why
We can and we should. Bring shame back. God, you know, one of the stats I learned that before the 1950s, the black community had the most marriages out of all races, okay? Out of all ethnic groups. The black community before the 1940s had the most marriages out of all ethnic groups. And before that, they were a rising economic group. Now it's reverse. They are one of the lowest economic groups and have the worst marriage rates. The correlation, in my opinion, there's a correlation to it because family units were creating economic power. But then single motherhood jumped in. The government jumped in. One of the things that destroyed, in my opinion, the black community, single motherhood. You don't need a daddy in the home, okay? You don't need a daddy in the home. You got strong, independent women. I don't need no man. And you have government, right? The government, where you have the government is the father. Child support, WIC, food stamps, free housing, promoting strong, independent women. I don't need no man. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, look at that. Right, see? Had a 2% divorce rate before the 50s. Exactly. They were one of the strongest up and coming economic group. I believe the key destroyer of the black community is the rise of single motherhood. The no need for a man. So if you don't need a man and you have government paying for your kids, giving you money to live, giving you a house to live, well, you can just now have sex with the pookies, the men you are attracted to, right? You can have sex with the worst men, even though they're attractive, right? You're attracted to these men. These men aren't boring. These men are fun. So you can have sex with the pookies and get the government to help you out. Amazing.
Always telling women to just go get a donor. If you genuinely want children and you want to experience motherhood, go get a donor. But
absolutely stupid. Absolutely disgusting. It really is. I'm a woman that says no need for the man. Get a donor. I will be showing you some interesting stats provided by Kai. Kai. I'm going to show you some interesting stats soon.
I always have to remember that me personally, I do not aspire to co-parent in any capacity, not even in the healthiest marriage. I do not.
The mindset. Women always say, you know what? Oh, men, there should be no 50-50 in a relationship because you know what? Oh, men can do 50-50 in the birth. Men can't do 50-50 in the, childbirth. Yet, you're what? You're just having the kid for yourself? The selfishness. This is the funniness why the whole birth shit, women giving birth to children, that men can't even discipline. Men can't even raise how they see fit. A lot of times men are not even allowed to raise their children how they see fit. It is women who are dictating to men, oh, our children will do this, our children will do that, our children will learn this, our children will learn that. Women are dictating the household, dictating the child rearing. So really, okay, so now Did we not have a child together? No, this is the mindset of women right here. Oh, I might as well do a donor because I would not allow a man to raise my kid. The audacity, the selfishness, the disgustingness. And the rise of the single motherhood was orchestrated after the civil rights movement. They went full steam with welfare. Ask any black person who grew up in the late 60s and early 70s. Black women were promised welfare if the men... Exactly. And sadly, black women have fell for it. They have fell for it. They, you know, and it gave them a way out. Because honestly, women, particularly black women, are the strong, independent type, very stubborn, okay? Very, strong-willed, okay? So now the government has given them the opportunity where you can say you don't need a man. Okay? You can be your strong, independent self. It is disgusting. It is. I'll check that out. I knew a lot about it. I've been looking into it because I sadly, my baby mom is black. Okay? My baby mom is black, and she pretty much, I was providing for the family. I was providing for that family. One, she wanted more. She wanted me to provide even more, right? And provide how she wants me to provide. So, and I wanted to raise my kids how I also see fit. The shared duty, but she didn't want it. She didn't want me to spend the money how I see fit. No leadership, no even partnership. That's the thing. So she wanted me to spend money how she see fit. She wanted to raise the kids how she see fit. Because I wouldn't do it like that, because I wouldn't back down, she left me. Took the kids. Don't care about child support, don't care about nothing legal. Took the kids so she can have full control of our kids. But you know what? It's only her kids. Since she don't want any, back sass, no talk. Control without responsibility or accountability for the outcomes. That is the name of the game. Exactly. This is why I understand and I feel for my black brothers. I do.
I want to co-parent. I don't want to share a kid with a man. That's just me.
Don't want to share a kid with a man. 100% disgustingly selfish. That right there, that statement, I don't want to share a kid with a man. You don't even care about that fucking kid. You don't even care about that kid. You don't care. It's like, oh, it's what you want, right? It's what you want. It's not what the kid wants. You care about what you want, not what the kid wants, not what the child wants. Because I believe you. I believe that child wants a father. Not once the whole shit where, oh, you know what? Both mother and father. What the fuck is that shit? No. You can't do both.
But I highly recommend women start to get donors more when they genuinely want to be a parent. And I feel like it's the most empowering thing.
Empowering? What's empowering about that? What's empowering about that where you are so selfish, right? You're so selfish, you care about no one but yourself. Don't even care about that kid. Because God forbid, a kid wants a father in his life.
That women can do. Single mom by choice with a donor.
Absolutely disgusting. Here's something that was interesting. That Kai shared. 63% of youth self-deletion are from fatherless home. 5 times the average. 90% of homeless and runaway children are from fatherless home. 32 times the average. 85% of all children who show behavior disorders come from fatherless home. 20 times the average. 80% of rapists with anger problems come from fatherless home. 71% of all high school dropouts come from fatherless homes. Those are insanely depressing statistics. Those are insanely depressing statistics. It's the numbers. It's the numbers. Us men, right? We're not basing shit on our feelings. We're not basing shit on our feelings. It's the numbers. The numbers. Right? We have women complain, oh, men are, why there's so many violent men. Right? The whole 80% of rapists, 80% of abusers, 80% of the creeps, the terrible men. Guess what? They're raised by single mothers. There's no good fathers in that home. That's the Mansa, yes. This is nuts. It is. Us as men, we care about the facts, the statistics, the numbers, because that says a lot more than what we are feeling, what women feel, the crazy logic that women have. No. Base that shit on numbers. Base that shit on what's actually happened in the real world. What's happening to most people. Right? You want to complain? Women want to complain about all the shitty men in the world. Guess what? Most 80% of the shitty men in this world are raised by single mothers. And then we have this woman, the audacity to say, oh, go get a donor. I don't want to share a child, the child raising with a man. Guess what that gets you? What's that getting you? You are producing the next generation of terrible men. There was a statistic, right? That actually children fare better in single father homes. Children fare better in single father's home. It's like absolutely disgusting. Let's get a little bit more. Children with fathers who are involved are 40% less likely to repeat a grade. Children with fathers who are involved are 70% likely to drop out of school. Children with fathers who are involved are more likely to get A's in school. It's like the benefits of fathers. Wow. Ain't that crazy? Having a good father sounds like it's a benefit. I've said this before, where after feminism, when feminism started till now, in my opinion, all the problems we're having, created by women. Women are the core of the problem. I mean, call me misogynist if you want, right? Call me misogyny, whatever. But the more you pay attention, the more you learn about things, the more you think about certain stuff, you see the root, right? It all starts with a woman, in my opinion. Almost every problem we're having right now, you map it, starts with a woman. So call me misogyny, if you want, but what can I say? What do you guys think?